Is this business still doable? Can I still make a profit?
All right. Hello, I am your host, Ben, and welcome to the season 2 of the Amazon Strategist Show. Show that's all strategy, no hacks, no silver bullets, and no magic pills, just real practical strategy for serious Amazon sellers. So today we have the pleasure of being joined by a seasoned e-commerce expert, RJ Martinez. He's a trailblazing entrepreneur. I've personally known and worked with RJ for a number of years, and he has over a decade of experience in online selling. So RJ's got an impressive track record with over $1 million in sales from print on demand just over the last 6 years. And through his engaging YouTube channel, his blog, his Facebook community, he shares a ton of valuable insights, proven strategies, and is one of the most trusted people in the print on demand and e-commerce space. RJ has generated an impressive $1 million plus in sales from print on demand over the last 6 years. And through his engaging YouTube channel, his blog, his Facebook community, he shares a ton of valuable insights, making him one of the most trusted people in the print on demand and e-commerce make money online space. So you can also join RJ on his journey by hitting the subscribe button on our channel and also following the link over to his channel. He's got a lot of great content on his YouTube channel, among other platforms as well. So RJ, thanks again and welcome to the show. We're happy to have you today.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Thank you, Ben, for having me on. I'm excited to be on here to share some knowledge with you. That was a good introduction, by the way.
Thanks. I really practiced it so many times. So I know, RJ, you and I have known each other for a while, and I'll just say real quick how I kind of came across you and how I got to know you, which is I was just getting into the merch by Amazon print on demand space. And you are like one of the number one influencers in that space. Like if you do any search on YouTube for print on demand, merch by Amazon, now KDP, Amazon, really anything, you are going to pop up somewhere in that world. And so I started watching a lot of your videos, and then, over time, you and I just became friends as well. And you helped me a lot, just on personal level with some of the Amazon stuff I was doing. So, that's how I've known you. But I was wondering maybe if you could kind of tell us a little bit and take us back, like, how did you actually get started in the whole e-commerce world?
Yeah. So I'm doing this full time now, by the way, full time for like about 6 years. I started testing out on Amazon FBA back in, I don't know, I want to say 10 years ago. Okay. I had a job at the time and I was like, okay, let me try to sell something online. And what I did was I went to like CVS on the corner, right? So I was just doing like RA, retail arbitrage. And I was like, let me buy this product and let me see if I can sell it on Amazon. I was like, but I don't even care if I make a profit. I just want to see if I can sell it. And I think I sold it, and I probably didn't even make a profit, but I just needed to test it out. And I'm a big fan. You're probably going to hear a lot about this. Like if where you follow me wherever, I'm all about testing at the end of the day, because you don't know if it's going to work unless you try it. Okay. And that's some of the stuff that I do to this day that makes this journey, this online business fun, like learning about new things. It's like, you're not going to know until you test it. And it's something new that comes out, like a big thing right now is AI. I don't know if AI it works or not unless I test it, right? I can say, I don't want to test it, but yeah, anyways, well, going back to what I was talking about, I flipped something, I sold it, boom, it sold. And I was like, okay, it works. It does. I don't even care if I made a profit. Like I said, let me go out and let me see what I can find. And then I heard people talking about Alibaba, you can buy all these products and do this. And I was like, you know what? Let me just start easy. Let me see if I can start flipping stuff, because I know there's stuff out there that, for example, right now, Barbie is a big thing, right? It's because it's in the movie theaters. And I haven't seen so many people in the movie theaters like this in like years. And I'm like, dude, this is pretty cool. Like some people are like, oh no, that's too many people for me. I'm like, damn, this is pretty cool. I like it. I can see what's going on. And I was like, then I came across like, okay, the first thing I'm looking for is like, what can I sell? What can I flip? That's the first thing I'm thinking about. And there's like this makeup case, right? For example, this is an example. This is what I would do at the very beginning. If I see something that's in a demand, right? And if this makeup case is sold in Target, right? But it's pretty much sold out everywhere. But it's like a $20 makeup case and you can sell it for $80 or $100 online. And people are buying it like crazy. And I'm just like, that's what I would do at the very beginning, just to see like, what can I, buy at a lower cost and that has a demand. And,
right.
Flip it for a profit, right? And then next thing you know, I started doing that. Then I started making, and all this content that I was following was just trial and error and learning online from different people and people in the community that would actually like help me out with certain things or certain questions. And next thing you know, I'm shipping boxes into Amazon, different warehouses. And then I started selling shoes. and I'm not sure if any of you guys are listening to this or like, buying shoes at Marshalls or just like a TJ Maxx or not flipping on eBay, just more on Amazon in general. And I know that people that have a lot of success on different platforms, just selling shoes, buying shoes at Marshalls and flipping them, or like, what's it, Poshmark, something like that, right? And then there's like different marketplaces where you can sell. Like, so that's another thing. It's not just selling on Amazon. There's several different opportunities where you can possibly make money and flip it for a higher margin to make a profit. And that's what I started off doing. And I started flipping, like I said, I started flipping all kinds of stuff. Then I started flipping shoes mainly. And then I started buying gift cards and going into Marshalls and flipping the shoes where I was shipping in like, anywhere from like 100 to 500 pairs a week. I go to Marshall's cash register and I'll try to glitch it out sometimes because I'll try to buy like at least, there's one time where I bought at least like $10,000 in shoes.
Yeah, that's a big order. They don't see that every day.
Yeah, and they're like, their first thing they tell me is like, you're going to make our pizza party happen this month. And I was like, well, dude, I better get a couple slices because I'm helping out here. And just really cool with the ladies and just being friends with, a lot of the people working at Marshalls and just different retail stores that I'll go to because they see me come in. They're like, oh, that guy's here that buys all the shoes. Here he comes. He's here. He's going to.
They loved you, I'm sure.
Yeah. So I'm just always friendly with people and just, because at the end of the day, it's like it doesn't do me no good to be mean to other people. If, they're actually helping me ring up all these shoes, like, you know what I mean? If anything, I should be providing them with something because they're helping me with this big transaction and they don't have to do it, but they're being nice to me too as well. And then, well, I started flipping and stuff. And then next, I came on to print on demand where I was like, you know what? Like I'm doing this 12 hours, 14 hours a day. And it just really doesn't make any sense for me to be working this long unless I'm going to start to hire people.
Were you already full-time by that point?
Huh? Yeah, I was full-time by that point.
Everything, you were flipping full-time. So that was kind of like, you were already full-time on that.
Yeah, I was literally started, with the job. And then I was like, you know what? I know I can do this full-time. So I started doing it full-time. And then as I started doing it full-time, I quit my job within like 2 or 3 years. I was like, all right. So I started doing it full-time and just kind of just our daily routine where I wake up in the morning, check sales, make sure everything's good. Along the journey too, just meeting other Amazon sellers and stuff like that. But I would have like a route where I would go like, okay, when's the new shoes? I become friends with them. The new shoes are coming in on our new shipments coming in on like on Tuesday or Wednesday. And I'm like, all right, cool. And that's what I'll be coming in. And
I'm just imagining them like shooting you a text like RJ, meet at the back, like new deliveries arriving,
Nah. But yeah, no, that's what I would do. And I was like, kind of like my routine where, I was getting as soon as I get my Amazon payout, I would go in and, you just use that money and just throw it back in
more
and
inventory.
more inventory. This is kind of like the thing. But then I was like, you know what? Like, I feel like I could try something else out. And like I said, that's where print on demand came in. Amazon merch, where I was like, you know what? I can create, put a design on a t-shirt and then it literally did it and it made a sell. Well, actually, no, I went on Fiverr. Purchased some designs. I literally forgot about it. I uploaded them to Amazon merch, forgot about it. And I came back to it and I've literally generated like probably close to 60 or 80 sales. And I was just like, what am I doing here? Like, this is an opportunity for me to, I kind of got the idea of it. Right. And I was like, this is the idea. Okay. I can put a design on a t-shirt and then I don't have to take care of no inventory. I don't have to talk to anybody. It's printing and shipping them. The Amazon's printing and shipping them out for me. And I'm just collecting the royalty. So I was like, you know what? I was like, I don't know how to design. I don't know how to use the Photoshop. I don't know how to use none of these tools. Like, what can I do? So I was like, you know what? Let me go up on Upwork. And that guy that, he's my worker now, but that guy, he's been working with me ever since then. And me and him he's talking to him today. I pretty much talk to him Monday through Friday or, whenever I'm working doing stuff, but he's always working on the back end. We're working from a workflow, like a spreadsheet. And he's been there since the very beginning. So he's watched it build all the way up and to where it's at now. And he's been there with me, since day one. And with a person like that I've met, obviously he gets paid and stuff, but with someone like that, he's like always ready for the next challenge type of person. And that's cool because I'm that type of person too. So it goes back and forth. It goes hand in hand, right? We understand he has to get this done. But yeah, I started taking it very seriously with, putting the designs up on Amazon merch. And next thing you know, it went from, making like $10, $20 a month to 500 to 2,000 to 3,000 to 4,000, 5,000, 8,000 a month. And, it's generated consistently. every single month since then, and it's literally helped me do everything else that I do now. So
Right.
it's
Yeah. So I'm going to back up for a second too. So you have, what I don't want to say is a kind of, it's a theme that I hear a lot, but a lot of people do say they kind of started maybe they got into Amazon somehow. Maybe they had their first sale from something else. Like I remember my very first sale was I sold my entire collection of Pokemon cards on eBay. And that was my first sale. I'll never forget it. One, because it was my first sale where I made money online. Two, because years later, I instantly regretted that now that Pokemon cards are worth so much more money.
Yeah.
But you have your first sale online. You got into retail arbitrage, and then you kind of reinvested all that cash, eventually quit your job doing that. And then you found this thing, Merch by Amazon. And for anyone who's watching this, I'm just going to kind of explain Merch real quick, and correct me if I miss anything. But Merch by Amazon essentially is a separate program Amazon has where you have to apply. So you do have to get approved for it. But once you're in, then you can essentially upload designs. You give it a title. I think it's 2 bullet points in a description still. And then Amazon will put that design on mock-ups of different products on their website, right? That could be t-shirts, long sleeve shirts, pop sockets, iPhone cases, Android cases. And when it sells, Amazon takes care of everything, right? It's a little bit different in terms of it's not through Seller Central. It's its own separate thing, but it can be really hands-off if you want it to be once you get to a certain point. Now, I know for you, it's definitely not, right? Because the one thing I was just also going to say is that I've known RJ for a long time, and there's a lot of people who will test a lot of different things, and it ends up being a ton of false starts where they don't really take it far enough to actually get the momentum or traction to know if it's going to work. But what I really admire about RJ is he's tested all these different kind of ways that you can make money with Amazon or content creation, but he actually sticks with them and actually builds them into significant revenue streams. So like now I know that you're doing Merch by Amazon, you're doing KDP, which we can get into too. You've got the YouTube channel, you've got the content creation all there. I know you're doing a ton now. Well, maybe you are, but with Amazon influencers, which we just talked to Liz from Influencer Fruit yesterday or the other day. So yeah, that's the one thing I would just say is a big takeaway for me, just knowing you over the years, is to actually go and run with these things and stick with them and build them up.
The Amazon influencer stuff, that's something that's like the most current thing that I'm doing right now.
That's
and like exactly what you just said, that's exactly what I do. Like I'm not trying to create 100 videos for the Amazon influencer. I'm trying to create 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. And then as I go back, and obviously along the way, I have to see some type of increase, for the business. And I've been seeing that, and we can obviously touch on that. I don't want to skip all that stuff, but it just is exactly what you just said. And that's something that's current that I'm working on as of like right now. Like I was doing it last night before bed. I was like, nope, I got to knock out these 5 videos and then I go to bed.
Yeah, for sure, man. So let's kind of move into, I guess, what we call the Q&A session. So this is obviously the much weighted segment that we have where we kind of address burning questions. And these are questions that, we get from people that watch the show or just comment on various social media channels that we're trying our best to shed kind of some light on different strategies, topics, all that kind of stuff. So we've got a couple questions, which I think you've already kind of answered the first one about your first sale, which was through retail arbitrage, right? Do you still do retail arbitrage, or did you actually stop doing that in favor of kind of the print on demand world?
Yeah, I took it a whole different way. More of my perspective is to be anywhere in the world and make money. Like I don't have to be physically there. To a certain extent, right? If you want to be a smarty pants, I have to physically, obviously, create videos or content or create a design, yes, but not like physically where I'm working like sourcing shoes and doing stuff like that. Physically having to be there to buy it at the store type of ordeal. Like I just try to stay away from that as much as possible to where if someone wants me to do a certain shout out, like on, let's say like a YouTube video where I'm like, okay, this is what I charge and this is what I'm like, expecting you.
Here are my demands.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. No, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, that is something, with retail arbitrage or, even your FBA business, but with retail arbitrage, you have to be there to go source products, right? You could get into online arbitrage, and that's definitely a kind of step above in some ways, but that totally makes sense. I hear a lot of people that kind of start with the arbitrage model, and then their next thing is to get into like private label, right? You took it and instead of kind of going that route, you switched into the print on demand world, which I think is, it's unique. We don't normally have people, at least on our show, that are in that space. So love to kind of talk a little bit more about that and kind of just the various options that you have. So with Merch by Amazon, can people still like get into that? I know it's application only, but is that still an available platform that people can get into?
Yeah, it still is. So like the last 2 people though that have applied for it, okay, they've been denied. I'm not sure exactly. I'm kind of going through like the whole messaging with them right now. Just I want to figure out exactly why they got denied, and that's something like right. They obviously won't tell us, but I was like, I want you to share everything that you shared with me when you applied for it, so I can see maybe there's some type of like you probably put a website, right? It says put website, and you're not showing nothing. Like there's nothing you're showing there. You're probably just showing a picture of a looks like a big corporation type of ordeal with these fake pictures that you got online, and it shows no type of design work or nothing, right? So
Sure.
there's certain people that I'm going over, but people like it took me personally, it took me about close to 3 months, 90 days to get approved. And when it comes to like that, I'm just like, I barely missed that deadline at the very beginning was auto approval. And that's another thing with Amazon, just to get that out the way. Anytime you see that it's auto approval, just do it. And you can come back
Right.
to it later on. Just get it done.
Yeah.
And if it even takes you 30 minutes to do it, and then get it done, and then you come back to it later on. But I barely missed that deadline. I wasn't even sure if I was going to get approved or not. And then when I did it, I got approved, and I was like, oh, dude, I'm approved. I didn't even get the email. I had to sign in. It's like I logged in. When I logged in, I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
So,
And that's I think that's like a common theme too. I've noticed is like anytime there's an available new Amazon program, like we were talking about again Amazon influencers the other day, but is always just sign up for it because like it's better to sign up and get into it, and even if you don't use it, then be on the waiting list like 2 years later. So I know you got you got into the whole Merch by Amazon world pretty early on. And I think I probably was a couple of years after you, but I know it's gotten quite a bit harder now. Where do you see like I'll just stick to Merch by Amazon for a second though. Like where do you see the kind of print on demand opportunity with both merch, and I know you're also selling on other platforms. So like, is it still a pretty big opportunity? And do you use AI now, or are you still relying on people to do all your designs?
That's a good question. Now when this like I think this varies from person to person. Okay, there's like no one size fit all. Like depends like what you're good at. Like I feel like when I'm doing this type of stuff, I'm good at research and understanding what's going on at the time and moment. So like if it's a trend, I understand why it's trending and why people are buying it. And then me leveraging that as I'm leveraging, like certain ideas or concepts and understanding like the inspiration behind it, why people are buying it now and how come it's selling right now. And that can just be a design. It can be a book. It can be a product, right? It doesn't matter what it is at the end of the day. It just understand if you're good at designing and you can draw, get to work and start drawing and making stuff. You see stuff that's online selling, right? Don't copy it, exact, right? You create your own concept of your design. I shared today in my group was a corn dog running with an American flag, right? And it has mustard on him. And there are people who are like saying and then he has legs, but he has a stick in the middle, right? So people are like, the concept of the corn dog with the stick between his legs kind of looks kind of funny. And I'm just like, okay, so am I supposed to put adult corn dog? I guess I don't know. Like I don't know but just certain things like understanding what you're good at, and then whatever you're good at, just leveraging that as best as possible. It may be you're good at research, you're good at putting like funny puns together. You can, you're good at jokes. You can tell a joke and make someone laugh. And that's money. Any of that right there is money because you can do a lot with that. Maybe you're good at putting a workflow together, like systems in place, right? And then you can just hire a person to, you can hire a designer. You can hire a person to do keyword research, help you with keyword research. You just all that right there. There's certain things that you can leverage and outsource, and then next thing you know, you have a business that's making you a full-time income, right? And I know people that are okay with just making $500 a month just with their Amazon merch account, and they're happy as possible, right? Because everyone's goals are going to be different when it comes to this. Maybe they don't. Their goal is to, I just need my car payment paid for, and I'm happy at my job, and I don't that's it. Like I just want to work still full time at my job, and I just need a little side hustle because my job's not paying me enough. But if I do the side hustle, it's going to pay for my car payment.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like that's actually a really important point. It's everyone glorifies like the people who are like, oh, like started a unicorn SaaS company or like, have a multi-million-dollar Amazon business. But the whole like other side of the coin is like those, there are a lot of situations and a lot of people that want just an extra $500 or $1,000. And that's a big win too, is just having that. So, there's a lot of people just building the type of business that they really want. You don't have to build an Amazon private label brand to millions of dollars to sell it. Maybe you just want like a good lifestyle brand or business. I think that is a really cool thing, and it's not talked about enough, really. So yeah, that's a awesome point. Honestly,
Yeah, no, and then just adding to that, like this, just so many, and it just building on top of everything that we're talking is just the knowledge and stuff, and I've gained from understanding how to do research and finding a top selling shirt in a niche, and then creating it, then it goes viral, and then and then it makes you a good amount of money just off of one design, right? I have a few designs on my account that they've made over $40,000-$50,000, right, and which is really awesome. But then that right there, that's content. I can turn that into content where then next thing you know, what people are just, oh, I want you to help me out with this. And that's just the way it forms out to be. And I'm not even trying to, sell nothing like that. It just, oh, can you get on a call with me to do this? I'm like, okay, well, if I'm going to be sharing my time with you and taking time for my business, I'm going to have to charge you. Like, see, that's what it turns into. And I didn't even mean it to turn into that. I was like, I'm just going to create YouTube content and just help people that way. But then people were like, no, I want to get on a one-on-one with you. I'm just like, okay, well, okay, whatever. But it just, like I said, I'm good at understanding the research and what's selling right now, what's currently selling that you can create, on a t-shirt, and then it will make sales, right? I think one of the best feelings ever too is just when it comes to, doing that stuff and you apply it to the next thing that you learn, right? And you go and you start to learn new things, and then new opportunities present themselves. You take that same concept and apply it to that. And then that's how you go from $0 to $500 a month or $1,000, whatever your goals are, right? And that's the best way possible. Just take what you've learned over the years, and as you start to like input them to the next current thing that you're learning, like literally you have a big advantage when it comes to understanding the whole research process, performing at certain levels, editing certain types of videos, stuff like that. Everything just adds up because you've learned so much over the years.
Yeah. So I was gonna say that's one of the kind of really cool things I would say about print on demand and merch by Amazon is there's a big part of it is honestly a volume game, right? Like the more I always would chalk it up to like the more designs you have, it's like more online real estate, right? Just like a private label brand, if you have more products, obviously now you have more products that take up space on Amazon and you can sell, right? But you do get really good at product research or niche research as you're doing it, because so I know you're a research monster. Like I know you were saying it earlier, but you probably walk around and just see little things or something on a shirt while you're out and about and say, oh, I need to go make this design. You know what I mean? And I think that becomes like a really powerful skill. And so I know, kind of to your point, and I'm going to kind of segue right into the next thing, but I know you then got into KDP next, right? So Merch by Amazon's still growing, but your next kind of thing, KDP, which is Kindle Direct Publishing. How did you get into that world?
So what I was doing was I had custom illustrations, right? And just understanding the whole concept. Cause like you have all these designs and you're like, okay, what else can I do with this? Like, okay, they're making money here. Now, what else can I do with these illustrations? Like if I'm covering one niche, let's say it's the monkey niche, right? I have like 50, 60. I'm building out that real estate in that niche with those certain types of designs. And I'm trying to make sure they're the best in the niche. You can turn that into any but there's it's crazy because with the AI stuff too, technology, you can do that too as well. But that's what I did, and I seen like, okay, I can turn this into a book. This can be either a storybook, it can be a coloring book, and a coloring book is a storybook in a way. If you actually produce a really good one, the next page with the next page all makes sense and it all goes hand in hand. But just understanding what an individual or a person wants in that niche, and just giving it to them. And it's literally with every single niche, what I just said, if you apply that to any single business or business model or whatever it is that you're trying to do, just solving that problem and just like serving it to them. That's what, at the end of the day, that's how you create a top selling book. Like it's that simple. And you're giving it to them. And then next thing you know, it starts to rank, people start to share it more. And it starts to go, certain holidays, they'll start to go viral and it just start to take over. And it's just like, wow, okay, this was just an idea, but then now it's turning into, it's like generating a good amount of money every single month, and it's being consistent and it's number one in its niche. But then, okay, now it's another challenge with yourself. What can I do with that first, not that first one? The first one's winning. So how can I create a second one? And then a third, then a fourth. So if you have 5 books doing $1,000 a month, right? That's
that's great income, and now it gives you money to reinvest into either or live off of, or reinvest into either the next business or that same business too. Do you So I was just going to ask too. So now with AI, is that a big part of how you're getting designs? I know you obviously have a designer and maybe a
Hmm.
multiple, but can you tell us a little bit about kind of the design process? Like once you've found a topic or a theme that you want to go and create a t-shirt design or a product design around, what's kind of being done in the back end? Like, are you just handing that idea off to your designer, or are you actually using Midjourney or some kind of AI for it?
I personally haven't really. I've messed with Midjourney to show my designers, but I haven't like. I think I covered one niche. Okay.
Yeah.
And I even some of the stuff that was created, I'm just like, just doesn't look right to me. Like we have to edit this or something. I have to give it to, my illustrator because right now I have two artists on the team, and then I have like a third one's like a part time. They come here and there, and just like if I need something, I can reach out to them, and I need this, I need that. But for the most part, when it comes to any of this stuff, it's more of understanding it and kind of getting the inspiration for yourself and kind of just putting it into play. So if I understand the niche and I see something that we can definitely jump on. So if I do research and I find some low competition niches and I can see that we can create designs that will be better than the competition, we'll do it and we'll cover a whole niche. Like I can create anywhere between 20 to 30 designs in that one day based off of, the certain illustrations that we create. Sometimes we'll
Right.
create 3 to 4 different illustrations, but then each artist, right? Keep in mind, every artist is going to be different when it comes to producing a good design. Okay. The illustration has in, like, let's say, for example, like a roly poly. Okay. There's something as simple as like that you probably wouldn't even think of. A roly poly. If I wanted I wanted one artist to create an actual roly poly, but then I wanted to do like one that's actually like all the way flat, and then maybe I want him to do one that's rolling, right? There's a few ideas I probably can think of right there, but
Sure.
then I want that artist to create their version of it, and then I want the other artist to create another version of it, and then they're not competing with each other. They're on the same team, obviously, but we're competing with other people out there, and we're trying to beat other people when it comes to that. And we want to make sure that we're the best design. And that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. And, we're all in competition in certain ways if we're selling on Amazon, depending on the niche, certain products. And if we're obviously doing Amazon merch, we are going to be in competition. But your advantage is you knowing like a niche and understanding it. Let's say it can be baseball, it can be softball, it can be whatever it is. But you know that there's certain funny words that are out trending right now because you're out playing the sport or you know what I mean? Or you just watch the sport consistently. That's your advantage. And for like competition stuff, that's your advantage because you know what's going on. Like one funny saying that was said today, you know that you can create a really cool design. And that's pretty much the process is understanding that.
And then you go lock the niche down too, right? Like, and that's such a good, like, applicable lesson for anything you're doing on Amazon is like, once you
Mhm.
find something and you really know it and you see that it's working, you go and think about, okay, what are 10 other designs I can create? Or what are like 10 other related variations of
Mhm.
the product that I have that's crushing it that I can now go and put into the market, right? And I feel like
Mhm.
that's a huge piece of it too. With print on demand, it's easy in a sense. Well, not easy, but it is easy because your time to market from idea to market can literally be, right now. It can be, I think of an idea, go check that it's not trademarked or something, and then I literally go make the design and upload it within an hour. Can't really do
Yeah.
that with a physical product, right? If you have to now
Mhm.
go get like your manufacturer to make it, but still the concept there works. Is that if
Yeah.
you find something that's working, you go and own that, right? And if you know the persona of the shopper or the person on the other end, and you can speak to them in a way that no one else can, so your competition that's trying to just fly by night, that's going to give you a
Mhm.
massive advantage, right? I know
Mhm.
you always say in the Facebook group, I see your comments all the time, that stay out of my niche, stay out of my niches,
Mhm.
right? It's
Yeah.
kind of that same thing. So I know you do this strategy.
Yeah, no, but that's another thing too. Is just stay out of my niche. Is just like it's a funny. We're having fun with the business, and at the end of the day, like if I share something with you or I share a niche idea with you, sometimes I'm just having fun because I'm in that niche, right? I'm not saying, oh yeah, you can't beat me. Sometimes at the very beginning, some of my designs were just horrible designs and they sucked. And but that's not the point sometimes because sometimes you'll see the most viral designs online on the internet making sales and they're just text-based words, and it's crazy to even think about that way because it's like anyone can do that, right? Just some common sense with you can use Canva or you can use any type of online free tool and you can create a text-based design just with a funny word. And then next thing you know, it's a viral design. It's making you $1,000 a month, just like that.
Yeah,
It's all doable. It's doable, but your timing has to be pretty good. You have to understand what's going on. And that's the difficult part right there.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to ask too, so I know you sell like on the Amazon platform, but you also sell obviously on kind of some of the other platforms too, right? So you've expanded, I don't know to which platforms, but where else are you selling your products or repurposing your designs to sell elsewhere?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Those are there's like Redbubble. That's a good question. There's a few other ones. There's Redbubble. There's a few other ones.
Zazzle.
Yeah, I think so. And
you
then
sell on eBay? I don't know.
No. Actually have a few buddies that sell over there, but I honestly felt like bringing back eBay to where, see, this is the thing. Sometimes I was thinking about, dude, this would be a dope show just to flip stuff, dude. Whenever I'm bored or something, just go to like a thrift store real fast and just find something like a unique product and just flip it and just make a show about that. I flipped it. I sold this. But then at the same time, it's but then that's going against what I, like what I'm like trying to do. Cause then it's but then that's like going, but I was but what's an extra $500 to $1,000 a month? What's that going to, you can reinvest it again. You know what I mean? So I've came across certain things, like you said, like you said, Pokemon cards, and you can, it's just good content. It could be a great video. And that's something that I like to do. I want to create something that's really cool and really engaging type of piece of content, but then showing people how you can flip and do this and then inspire someone else to go, all right, I'm going to start doing this too. And,
Right. So I want to come back to that, but I just want to know, do you run ads as well, or are all of your sales organic? Like you're just selling everything organically?
So I sell on the different platforms, right? There's other platforms that I sell on which, it's crazy because you said different platforms, they'll end up selling organically over there. But as far as running ads, yes, I run ads on Amazon merch. That's right there is people it's a whole different ball game. You know how many people that are scared to run ads? I've talked to a lot of people who are like, no, I don't want to run ads. I was one of them back in
the day. I was one of them. I was like, I don't want to pay. I don't want to pay to run ads. But I would still run some auto campaigns on my Merch by Amazon account, and they actually perform pretty well. I'm not going to lie, they perform quite well.
Yeah, and it's I feel like when it comes to ads, it's probably one of the easiest platforms. It's so easy, it seems like, because there's people online trying to shop there compared to running a Facebook ad where people are not trying to shop on Facebook. They're most likely going to Amazon to, be credit card ready to spend money, right?
Yeah.
And if you get their attention on there, then, obviously you can convert, for that product or that design, right?
Yeah, 100%.
One thing too, it ranges too with spending money on ads, but it's definitely over, spending over some months over 3,000, some months over 5,000. It all depends, right? Sometimes, most of the time when you get closer and closer to Q4, I can spend money up there. It can be close to $8,000, $9,000. But it just, at the end of the day, it's about getting that real estate with that certain design and where it's generating a good amount of money. I've created one design where I spend $200 or $300 on that design, but it's generated over $10,000 that month, right?
Yeah,
and it's
bad.
Crazy. It's not bad. Just one design, and you're not even spending that much money because it's of course the trend, right? And that design is in demand, and you can tell people that they're sharing the heck out of that design because it's just going viral and it starts to make sales, and it's crazy to even create something like that. But that's a good feeling because you created a t-shirt design, right? And you know that people are trying to make a statement. So that's another thing. People that are trying to make a statement with their design on their shirt. That's most of the time. Those are the type of designs that go viral because they know it's just that statement.
Politics, all the politics stuff. I'm curious. I actually want to know the answer to this question. Roughly how many products have you sold on Merch by Amazon? Just unit wise. Do you have any idea?
I think it's over 100,000 products for sure.
Yeah. So have you ever seen anyone wearing one of your t-shirts or anything in real life?
I think I've seen a few people wear my t-shirts, but the ones I've personally created where it's a t-shirt design and it sells over and over. And I sold a few. I'm like, who the hell's wearing this design? I feel bad for you. No, but there's designs that I'm really proud of where I'm like, this design's dope. And I can see people wearing this. But for the most part, going out in public, you'll know that they're Amazon merch shirts because you can tell by looking at, it's that little square boxy type of look shirt. And you can tell in your print, and you're like, okay, that's an Amazon merch shirt. But I've seen a few people wear my shirts.
Yeah, you probably know the brand of the shirt. So you're like, oh, that's the premium. That's the premium large, whatever it is. I don't know what brand Amazon uses now, the printers,
I,
but that's
I
so
forgot
funny.
what was I think it's like Port and Company. I think it is.
Yeah, something like that.
I think it is. I think that's the latest. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. So I want to transition a little bit and talk. I know we've been kind of focusing on the print on demand and all that stuff, but you've touched on a few times that you have a YouTube channel. I know you've recently been doing the Amazon influencer thing as well. But I'm curious if you could kind of tell us, first, I guess, when you created your first YouTube video and kind of
Mhm.
why, and just how that journey's been. Because I think you're up to what, 30,000 plus subscribers on YouTube? 40,000
Yeah.
maybe?
Yeah. Yeah. Let me. It's a good. I'm gonna go to my channel real fast.
Oh, we're going to get the live number.
Yeah. No. Well. No. Like the first video I created it was 6 years ago.
Okay, 6 years ago.
The idea was behind that was to just start to record my journey because I seen it as a opportunity, obviously to help other people, but it's there. It's like basically just recording the journey along the way, and then if I can create content based off everything that I do, and if it can help other people, that's the main, idea behind it. It's crazy to even think about. Um, like I didn't create a course right until like last year, I believe it was, and I wasn't a course guy. But then when I started creating content on TikTok, people are like, "Hey, dude, we need your course." I'm like, "I'm not a course guy." And I was like, "But I have all the content on YouTube, but it's like it's kind of all over the place." I was like, "So I can put it together with all the links, and it'll be all the course right there." And I was like, "You know what?" And this would be another opportunity to obviously make money online, and it's there. And then obviously I'm not gonna, oh yeah, buy the course and then see you later type of person. I'm like, buy the course. Do you have any questions? We can hop on a call real fast. With everything's good. You know what I mean? Not just buy my course, see you later, peace out type of person. And obviously I'm gonna do some updates, but
Yeah,
that's what it was, man. And I just started creating content based on that, and just kind
document
of
the
just
journey.
document the whole journey. And it was like easy, kind of like the Gary Vee approach. And he's like, you can just document your whole journey. Like you don't even have that'd be your creating your content. It's the easiest content to create is documenting your journey.
Right.
So
Yeah. And now, I mean, so now are you also doing like, you're doing TikTok? Are you doing like YouTube Shorts, all that stuff too as
yeah,
well?
just testing out a
You're
lot of that
everywhere.
stuff. Yeah, I'm a 708 videos in on YouTube, right?
Dang,
And
that's a lot of content. That takes a
that's a
lot of
lot of
time to
content.
make that content.
Yeah, I've invested a lot of time into it, and there's
You
certain
say
times
that,
I'm just
you're like,
sitting there, I'm
I'm
just like, dude,
exhausted.
yeah, exactly. I'm taking a break.
Yeah. Nice. And so,
Yeah,
what about the Amazon influencer world? I know that for you, that's kind of a newer thing, but it's, I guess, kind of, I would think it would be natural for you just because you're already someone who's comfortable in front of a camera, or behind a camera, whatever you want to call it.
yeah,
You're obviously already in the Amazon ecosystem. So, what are you doing with the Amazon influencer space?
yeah. So I heard about that in June 2022. So last year and 2 months ago, and I literally I went into my Amazon cart. And I was like, okay. So I signed up for it. First, I signed up for it. I got approved. So I put I got approved, and then I put the 3 videos up, and then I started getting paid to create videos on there where they watch the video. I think it's more than like 30 seconds, right? And then you get paid if they make a purchase. And I was like, you know what? I was like, let me be like very like strategic with this. Like, what can I do go from 0 to 500? So I didn't show my face from $0 to $500 a month. And I was like, okay, cool. So I went on to my Amazon orders, reviewed everything, probably knocked out about 80 to 90 products. And then I was like, okay, now how can I reinvest this back in to go from, 500 to $1,000, right? And I was like, my goal is to obviously make it, consistently making that. Like if I didn't want to do no videos this month, like I want to be consistently, making over, $2,000, $3,000 a month. And so I just started going to town on it, and then I'm just like, I'm averaging like about anywhere between 50 to 100 videos a month doing it, but also researching.
Does that mean you have to buy that many products? Like, are you buying like 50 to 100 products a month and then doing a video on them? Is that how that works? Like, that's my question.
Last month I spent probably, I want to say like $600 on products. So
Nice.
I'm just I'm reinvesting it back into it. Like I want to be, I don't mind spending $1,000 because I'm getting some cool new stuff, dude. You know what I mean? And then if
Yeah.
I see it as, like, think about it the bigger picture this way. If I'm making content, like if I can buy like some new audio equipment to test it out, and I'm like, cool, I'm gonna make this video. I'm gonna test out this new microphone that I got, and I'm gonna rep out like 100, like 10 pieces of content with it. Not 100, but I say 10 pieces of content with it. I'm like, cool. I repped out 10 pieces of content with it, got my money's worth, and then I'm gonna review it, and it's gonna pay for itself in 3 or 4 months.
And then you're going to make a YouTube video about how you made money doing that. So you got it full circle.
Yeah, it's a full circle. That's what I feel like it should be, because I talked to a buddy earlier. He's like, dude, you just figure out how to make money like just so many different ways. I'm like, dude, if it applies to it, like if I can, plug it in and it makes sense to make money, like if people are asking me, do I do a shout out? Can you do a sponsorship video? I'm like, yeah, I can do it. It's easy. I'm going to give you this, this space right here, but I'm going to charge you this much. You know what I mean?
Here's my rate,
and then the same
rate card.
Yeah, and same thing with the Amazon Video Influencer. I have companies where they'll reach out to me and they'll like, hey, can you review this product for me? I'm like, yeah, but I'm going to charge you this much. You know what I mean? I think last month, just alone with that, probably make close to like $1,100 just alone with companies reaching out to me to review. Yeah, I'm like, because it comes to a point where I look at the product and based off of my research and stuff, I'm like, this is not a good product. This is not going to do nothing for me. Yeah, and then I just tell them that, that's not going to do nothing for me. I was like, I'm going to charge you this much if you want me to do a review. No, that's too much. I'm like, okay, cool. Because that's too much too. You're wasting a bunch of my time where I can review 3 or 4 more products that I know that are going to rank and make me money on that actual platform itself. So does it make sense to waste my time over here on this product? Or does it make sense for me to review like a higher quality product that I know that's going to be selling over and over and every single day, then it has a lot of traction and search volume.
Yeah. I mean, that's a big thing too. I know people like, as for you, you've got so many different things you're doing, and now your time's become increasingly scarce. And, that's one of the things like with Seller Candy, like we talk to a lot of Amazon sellers, and that's a big thing is a lot of times I talk to sellers who are at that like 1-person, 2-person team. And they're like, well, I can do that on my own. I don't need to like get anyone else to I don't need to build a team. And they're thinking so short-sighted, because it's like, yeah, you don't need to build a team and you can keep doing everything on your own. But what's the opportunity cost? The opportunity cost might be that you can't go and spend time, finding new products that are really going to help you scale your brand, because you've just now spent 5 hours on the phone with seller support, or, whatever it may be. Or for you, it's like, well, that opportunity for me to create a video, edit it, push it out to my socials, that's preventing you from doing all kinds of other things, right? So that's definitely, it's a tricky balance for sure.
Like you said, there's product research where design research, or, just I have a whole, like for as far as like, I have like different book ideas, I have a ton of them. So that we probably have like 2 years, 3 years of work to get done. But as far as like design research, it's like every single month I try to have new design research for my team so they can get it done. And then as far as like new video ideas, it's like, I have like a whole list of, just for August alone, where I'm going to go back and look at my spreadsheet and I'm like, okay, I have to do this, do that. And then the daily goals, I'm like, okay, this is my daily goals. I have to do this, do that. And some of the stuff is eat healthy. Cause like certain days I'm like, nah, I don't want to eat healthy today. Like, nah, you got to eat healthy today. Like you're not eating bad. I'm like, okay, I guess I won't go out to eat today. But, just certain little things like that. Today was go to Sam's Club and get meat for the rest of the month, right? I don't have to go.
Nice.
Like that's a goal, and I accomplished it. That's a goal that I accomplished today. That's a win. You know what I mean? So all those wins that I do throughout the day, you're even on here too. The call with you, that's a win. I'm doing it right now. Nice. So it's just boom, 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 boom. So the little things like that, they all add up. But at the same time, when if you have like 10 or 15 goals in a day, you need some help there, buddy.
Yeah. No, for sure. That's tough. But when I also like on the flip side, when you set up something reasonable for yourself, then you actually keep crushing. Like even if you don't do every single one, but you get through a significant amount, you also get that momentum, right? Because you're feeling good, you're making progress, and that's really valuable unless it's working against you. Or like if you're like, oh, I didn't hit my goals again today. Now then you wake up and tomorrow it's already stressful. So that's definitely a big thing too. RJ, I want to switch it up to the. Oh wait, sorry. Go ahead. I got to hear.
No, that's just like you're the anxiety right there, man. Like you can get like a lot of anxiety and stuff. You got that because you got to balance it up because you need those breaks too as well. But to schedule out throughout the week, man, like just like we all do stuff, right? And there's multiple things that we all do differently, and we don't have the same schedule, but scheduling out and just little things here done, it all adds up at the end of the week. You're like, cool, I got like 50, 40 things done, or 20 things done, but I got them done all correctly, or 10 things done, they're all done correctly. You're good. You know?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah.
So I want to kind of go and switch over to what we call our controversial take. I always say that this is kind of the does pineapple belong on pizza session of our show. So what is a controversial take, or just something that you believe very strongly in terms of kind of the Amazon space?
Okay. I had a pineapple pizza bacon jalapeno the other day. It was bomb.
There we go. Okay, so I'm 2 for 2. I have at least 2 guests so far that are like, yes, pineapple belongs on pizza, which I am also a pineapple guy. So that's good to know.
It was fresh jalapenos too, so it was a hot pizza. It was bomb.
Nice.
No, the question. So I think just like a lot of things that I see inside of like Facebook groups and certain things, like people even reach out to me like, is this business still doable? Like doable? Like, can I still do this? Can I still make a profit? I think there's this, over time with any business, there's going to be more and more competition, right? And not just with anything. If it's easy and you see a lot of people making money, of course there's going to be competition. But I think if you go into any type of business or any type of, new idea or side hustle, whatever you want to call it, just having a good workflow, a good plan, good business plan. And that workflow is like you should make it like a day-to-day thing for the next 3 months, 6 months. And then based off of the results that you're getting, like, you know what I mean? You can kind of make a better decision, because the more data, the more knowledge that you have, it's the better, right? And it's crazy because we were talking about this earlier too, Ben. It's just like some of the YouTube content or some of the videos that I personally create, I feel like they're good, but I feel like I can edit them a little bit more, make it a little entertaining. But that's not the point. The point is this video providing value, and is it helping the person or the viewer watching? Okay. And it's just like, you can make it as entertaining as you want, but if there's no, it's not helping someone do something.
If you never publish it too, it's like I have this problem. I'll admit that I have this problem of being kind of a perfectionist a lot, where it's like, well, I feel like I need to edit this and this and this. It's like, but then if you never publish the video or you never get that product live, it's not going to help anyone. So it doesn't matter. And oftentimes, to your point, like we were talking, and oftentimes it doesn't need to be as perfect as you think. I've had so many, like, I used to have my YouTube channel that I was super active on, and I had a lot of my best videos were lowest production value. You know what I mean? And that was a big surprise to me. And I think that's the important thing that you just said again is, and this is truly who you are from everything that I've seen over the last few years, is you default to action, right? And even if it's people say it all the time, even 5 years ago, people were like, Amazon's too saturated, like can't do it, blah, blah, blah. There's always going to be more and more people coming onto any opportunity. Like real estate's been around forever, and real estate's always going to be saturated, but there's always opportunity there. And it just depends how you look at it. And then obviously there's certain strategies and things and systems you can build in your team. But that's 100% true, man. There's always opportunity. You just got to look at it in the right way.
I actually had someone, he came from South Carolina, and he went to Comic-Con, and he was like, I'm always, he talked to me on the phone before we actually met each other in person. We actually went to go meet up. Actually, my Uber went to go pick him up, and then we went in the same Uber to go eat together at his hotel. And he was talking about he's a perfectionist when it comes to editing like content and stuff like that. And I was like, it's going to be your downfall, because you're not going to be able to get the results you want with that type of, mentality, because you have to test and get stuff out there. And it's okay if you don't think it performs good, because sometimes what we talked about too is like we didn't think the video was going to perform well, but then all of a sudden it turns into like your top 3, your top 5, or just keeps on getting consistent traffic to that video, or whatever it is whatever your goal is, right? It obviously turns out to be one of the best ones, and you would have never known that if you didn't publish it. And it's always, you could always do better, right? But then also you're just as good as your last video, or you're just as good as your last piece of content, or you're just as good as your last design, you're just as good as your last product. Okay, so what's next? Like, stop thinking backwards, think forward, and then you just keep going.
100%, man. No, thanks for sharing that. So I want to say, I know, RJ, you and I could talk for probably hours more. So we might have to have you come back on for another appearance here on the show, but we are kind of at that closing time. So for everyone who's watching this, I just wanted to say out loud on behalf of viewers, everyone, RJ, thanks for being here. We really appreciate it. it's been awesome to kind of get your take, on the merch by Amazon, print on demand, KDP space, and also the YouTube space, right? YouTube and Amazon influencers. So for everyone watching, I hope you guys got some kind of insight or information, or maybe learned about these platforms for the first time. Not everyone knows about merch or KDP or some of these other things. So, RJ, if people are interested in finding you, following you, knowing more about you, where can they actually connect with you?
I'll share all my information with you, so you can share that too.
Cool. Thank you.
But mainly YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. I'm pretty much on every single platform. TikTok. I try to get back to all. It's this too. It's a struggle to get back to everyone's comments and stuff like that. But I try my best as possible when it comes to that, because I have stuff that I work on too as myself. I do offer, like I said, I do offer a course for Amazon merch on demand. Okay, that's the new name for it.
Right.
But they changed it. They changed it. But a lot of people I talk to, they're like, no, it's still merch by Amazon. I do have that too. But I'm pretty much active on all social media platforms. But yeah.
Cool.
I think
love it. So YouTube, we'll put all the links down below. You've also got an awesome Facebook group I'm in for the print on demand world. So no, that's great. So RJ, again, that's going to kind of bring us to the end here. So thank you so much, RJ, from RJ Hustles. Is that still what you're called? Your YouTube channel is called RJ Hustles?
Just RJ Martinez. Print on demand RJ Martinez.
RJ
But
Martinez.
RJ Hustles on Instagram, TikTok,
that's it.
all that other stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, thanks again for everyone who is watching. We hope that you got some great insight, strategies, and value out of this show. And as always, thank you for tuning into the Amazon Strategist Show. If you found this valuable, please, we ask that you kindly rate, review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and of course, subscribe to us. Leave us comments in the YouTube section if you're watching this on YouTube. All that stuff is amazing and also helps us reach more and more people in the Amazon world. So again, RJ, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it today. And hopefully we'll have to have you back on very soon.
Thank you.